Joining me now is Mr. Sendil Tondaman, the President of Ceylon Workers Congress here in Colombo, Sri Lanka. Sir, the Prime Minister is visiting Sri Lanka for the first time after the new regime took over. How do you see this visit of the Prime Minister?
Prime Minister Honorable Sri Narendra Modi ji's visit is always significant because during his terms, this is his fourth visit to Sri Lanka, and every visit has played an important role. In fact, from the Indian housing program to the Indian cultural centers in Sri Lanka, trade, economy, so many agreements and so many bilateral strengthening has been happened during his visits. So we also hope the same thing is going to happen during this visit also.
The new president has come into picture right now after the elections. This is the first time. How do you see the relation between the new president and also the Prime Minister? Because the previous regime had good relation with the Prime Minister.
The new president belongs to a political party which was almost opposing all the Indian projects before they came into power. Politically, their speeches were different. But now running a government is different from their political speeches. So I hope that they realize the importance of India and change their policies according to the Sri Lankan government style, how a government should run, and look forward in working more closely with India rather than a political party's ideology going on a national policy.
India's policy is neighborhood first, that the neighbors come first and their well-being comes first. When Sri Lanka went through a turmoil few years back, India was the first country to extend its arm. Do you see that people of Sri Lanka also look forward to the Prime Minister's visit here? Do they remember how India stood beside them?
More than neighbor, we say India is a big brother to Sri Lanka. Maybe other countries might be neighbors to India, but we always see India as a big brother to Sri Lanka because all the people living here are one day of Indian origin who have come during the past. So we have a very strong bonding from culture, everything with India, and we are just separated with 30 miles of sea water. The ocean separates us with just 30 miles. So we are very close with India, and we can never forget the support India extended to Sri Lanka during the crisis. And I would also like to remember that Indian government, beyond what they can do, they did for Sri Lanka. They took it as a personal task to bring Sri Lanka out of the turmoil. And if India wouldn't have supported or extended its arm to Sri Lanka, I think Sri Lanka would have gone through a hell of a disaster. And I don't think it would have been possible for Sri Lanka to recover so quick. So India's support in Sri Lanka's recovery, economic recovery, is unimaginable, and I don't think it can be compared any day with any of the countries supported to Sri Lanka before. And then only at a time of need you know who is the person who is coming forward. So India has always stayed as a true brother to Sri Lanka, and the people of Sri Lanka understands that, and they are all happy to welcome the Indian Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi to Sri Lanka during this.
China is expanding its territory or at least influence over Sri Lanka. Should India be worried about it?
I don't think India will be concerned about it because India is very strong on their relationship with Sri Lanka, and they hold on Sri Lanka on different bilateral agreements and different projects in Sri Lanka. India's stand is that more than worrying about China, to make sure that Sri Lanka's economy grows. That's what I see from the different statements and different discussions we had with India. They have been more concerned about Sri Lanka coming out of this crisis and all that, and they are not much concerned about the other developments happening here. They are more concerned about Sri Lanka's sovereignty doesn't get affected by anybody else, nor as it's a democratic country, and they're very close to Sri Lanka. They're very keen on that Sri Lanka's democracy prevails, as well as the sovereignty is not disturbed by any other nation.
One final question, how is the Tamils here looking forward to the Prime Minister's visit? From here, he goes to Rameshwaram to visit a temple and inaugurate a new bridge in Rameshwaram. How do the local Tamils see this visit?
No, actually, within India, his visit doesn't give much impact in Sri Lanka. But his visit to Sri Lanka gives a very strong boost to the Tamils in Sri Lanka because most of the recent development done in the Tamil area are done by the Indian government. especially Indian government's allocation of funds, Indian government's allocation of developments and all that, infrastructure development and all that, has been equal to the allocation done by the Sri Lankan government. So India plays a major role in especially the Tamil residing areas. So the Tamil people are more happy to welcome him, though I don't think he is going to make his trip to all the areas. But last time he made his travel to the upcountry plantation area, he came to Tondaman grounds and he met the people there, and he promised that he's giving 10,000 houses, which was a very big, strong boost among the people. And so the people have a gratitude to show to the Prime Minister. So this time also, though, because his trip is a very short trip, though he will not be visiting the plantation areas, but he is meeting the plantation leaders, and we are expected to meet him, and we will be having a couple of requests to him in terms of infrastructure development and the support which we expect from India. And we are very confident that he is a fatherly figure, not only to the Indians in India but also to the overseas Indians. He will accommodate our request and support the Tamils living here.
Thank you, Mr. Sen.
Thank you.